Neeraj Chopra continues his bid to defend the world title. He got the gold in Budapest in 2023. What's going to happen in 2025 in Tokyo? We have it running. Our teams are keeping a tab on what's really happening. These are live developments as we speak, and it seems like USA is leading the charge. Arshad Nadeem only at 82 so far, and the qualification mark was 84.5. Neeraj Chopra with his first throw qualified with an 84.80, and at the moment sits comfortably at 84. But 86 is the time and the score to beat at this point in time. Neeraj Chopra, he's cruised into World Athletics Championship Javelin final in Tokyo yesterday, and in the backdrop of rising India-Pakistan tensions at the ongoing Asia Cup. And that's the first throw at 83.65. That's Neeraj Chopra's first throw. Neeraj in quest for back-to-back gold. Even if he manages a bronze medal at the Tokyo World Championships, he's going to make a hat-trick of medals or podium places and finishes at the World Championship. If he manages to successfully defend his world title, only the first Indian to do so and the third athlete across the world to defend a javelin throw title at the World Championships. Now, we've been mentioning the ongoing Asia Cup, the Cricket Championship. Another high-stake Indo-Pakistan showdown is set to unfold. This time it's in Tokyo. Tokyo is the same place where Neeraj Chopra bagged the Olympic gold, and now he's back to redeem himself after a little bit of a shortcoming performance that took place in Paris just last year at the Olympics, where Arshad Nadeem of Pakistan managed to score an almost 93 meter long throw when it comes to the javelin event. Now, Neeraj Chopra returns to the city where he won the Olympic gold back in 2021, now aiming to defend his World Athletics Championship javelin crown. Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem will be standing in his way. At the moment, doesn't seem to be much of a problem, but they all have 4 to 5 tries and only the first round underway as we speak. And this sporting rivalry comes amid heightened political tension. We've only made it clear just days ago after Pakistan's tantrum and India's win over Pakistan in the Asia Cup. Indian players declined to shake hands with their Pakistani counterparts, a silent but telling reflection of the strained ties after the recent terror attack in Pahalgam. The controversy continues to stir up diplomatic unease, but it's mano a mano in Tokyo. Back to Tokyo, Chopra sealed his spot in the final with an 84.85 meter throw in his very first attempt at the qualifications. I've earlier pointed out 84.5 was the qualification mark. In his very first attempt, he did so. Nadeem, meanwhile, survived a scare, saving his campaign with an 85.28 meter heave on his third and final throw. So he made it to the final event by just a mere margin. What's more is that you've got another Indian who's competing in this final of the javelin event. 2 Indians taking part. You've got Sachin Yadav, who's also managed a score of 86.27 in his first attempt at this point in time. This will be their first face-off since the Paris Olympics. We're talking about Nadeem and Neeraj Chopra. Nadeem shocked the world, and of course Neeraj Chopra as well, with a gold-winning 92.97 meter effort. Chopra settled for the silver, but the Indian ace has been in top form this season, breaching the long-awaited 90-meter mark with a golden throw of 90.23 meters at the Doha Diamond League just this year, back in May on the 16th of that month. Now, Neeraj Chopra won the gold last year in Budapest World Championships with an 88.17 meter. Right now, Sachin Yadav seems to be the lead Indian. And can Neeraj Chopra now repeat history in Tokyo, the same place where he bagged the Olympic gold? He'll face stiff competition from not just Nadeem, of course, but also from German star Julian Weber. He's the first person who's on the list. And then you've got Grenadian powerhouse Anderson Peters, not throwing a very good throw in his first attempt, but we'll have to wait and find out what happens. India's Sachin Yadav, he's joined Chopra in the final, like I pointed out. 86-meter throw seems to be the lead Indian when the first round of throws is talked about. And it's not just about medals anymore, it's about pride, it's pressure, it's India versus Pakistan. Well, Shekhar Vijayan, sports commentator, with us on the broadcast here. Many thanks for taking out the time and speaking to News9, Mr. Vijayan. What do you expect and what are you hoping? I'm sure you're glued to the television screens yourself. Not a very nice throw by Neeraj Chopra in the first round, but again, let's not discount Sachin Yadav's first effort, 86 meters. And just out of nowhere, it's not Julian Weber, it's not Anderson Peters, it's not Chopra, Nadeem or Sachin Yadav. It's the USA star who's come out on top with an 86 meter. And giving him stiff competition, Mr. Vijayan, is Sachin Yadav, not Neeraj Chopra. But we're still talking about the first round. Neeraj Chopra on the 5th spot. This could very well change. What are you hoping and expecting? Over to you, Mr.
Vijayan. I think you just put it so, you put it so succinctly. India is in the competition. Now we're talking about India in a competition, in an event which a lot of Indians don't even participate. We're talking about javelin throw and you've got two Indians in it, which speaks for itself. And the fact that, the words like, form, technique, launching angle, height, throws, own power, these are words which are being used nowadays. I was just doing a Google search. These are words which are being used nowadays in terms of javelin throws. As in, we are talking about sports in a very different way now. We're not talking about just cricket or football. We're talking about javelin throw, and India's not just making strides in it. They're making gigantic. They're just making huge leaps in this, and it's nice to see Indians participating in this. Not just one, but two Indians participating in this. And as you're talking about the India-Pakistan rivalry, so to say, I don't think there's any rivalry here. I think there's India always, which is heads and shoulders above others. This is a very, very interesting sport, and Neeraj Chopra has actually shown the way by being a disruptor, by being an outlier, by showing us that you can win in this sports too. And I know for a fact that India today is going to be watching this with bated breath. They're going to be watching, everything about it. They're going to be trying to understand what is Neeraj Chopra's, his own power, his technique, his launching angle, his height, his trajectory, and also not to mention his wavy hair. So I think he's a brand in himself. He's somebody who represents India, somebody who represents Bharat. He's somebody who represents what India believes in. And Neeraj Chopra is the pride of India, and we are all looking forward to him winning.
And Mr. Vijayan, before the second round actually begins, which we're tracking live, before the second round actually begins, what about Sachin Yadav? What a huge surprise! I mean, he's got the size on his side as well. Because when you look at, the Grenadian powerhouse, when you talk about Julian Weber and the size of Arshad Nadeem itself, it's massive. Sachin Yadav coming with 86, he's second on the spot right now. Do you see him pulling off an upset?
See, I see him pulling on upset. I also see him as an example of India's sporting infrastructure. Sachin Yadav coming in, from behind, just showing the fact that in India's sporting prowess, India's sporting infrastructure is really coming of age, and we can see the results now as we talk. We are talking about two Indians in a world championship in an activity like this, in a sporting activity like this, which speaks really well about India, which represents India. And I would want him to create an upset. I would want Sachin Yadav to create an upset, because if you look at what you just mentioned in terms of body, in terms of physical power, in terms of persona, he's got all this and much more. So he can actually create an upset here.
All right. Mr. Vijayan, I think we'll leave it at that for the moment, even as the competition continues to go on. Let's wait and find out till the 4th or the 5th spot. We're going to again come back, revisit what's really happening in Tokyo. Please be glued to your computer screens because we will connect with you in just a short time. Let's take a look at some other developments, and let's come back to what's really happening in Tokyo. Fingers crossed right now, be it Sachin Yadav or Neeraj Chopra, what matters is that India should be on the podium. And if you've got two Indians on the podium, well, even better at that. All right, then shifting our focus here, former Tamil Nadu Congress chief K.S. Alagiri has sparked a major political controversy. In a recent insensitive comment, K.S. Alagiri said that Bollywood actor and BJP MP Kangana Ranaut should be slapped if she visits Tamil Nadu, criticizing her for past remarks about women activists. Now, Alagiri's controversial comment came in response to a question about an old statement made by the actor-turned-politician in which she had alleged that women activists could be hired to participate in protests for 100 rupees. Meanwhile, BJP Member of Parliament Kangana Ranaut has responded to the remark, citing that if there are people who hate her, there are more people who love her, adding that people in Tamil Nadu have always showered love on her. Listen in to some of these reactions.
கங்கனா ராவத் இது மாதிரி ரொம்ப கொழுப்பாக பேசி பல நேரங்களில் பேசியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு முறை அவங்க டெல்லி விமான நிலையமோ லக்னோ விமான நிலையத்திற்கோ போயிருந்தப்ப ஒரு பெண் போலீஸ் காவலர் அவங்கள ஓங்கி அறைவாங்க. ஏன்னு கேட்டதுக்கு இது ரொம்ப மோசமாக பேசுது. அது மாதிரி எப்பொழுதாவது அவங்க இந்த பக்கம் வந்தால் நீங்கள் மறக்காமல் அவங்கள அறைவாங்க.
हमारे भारत में जो है हम कहीं भी जाएंगे, कोई हमें रोक नहीं सकता. और चाहे जिसे कहते हैं ना कि अगर नफरत करने वाले कुछ है तो प्यार करने वाले उससे. तमिलनाडु में मैंने डॉक्टर जे ललिता का जो किरदार निभाया है, आप मानेंगे नहीं, हमारे ऑपोजिशन के जो एमपीज हैं जो वहां पे बैठे होते हैं, हम उस दिन वोटिंग कर रहे थे तो एक लिस्ट में लाइन लगी थी, लाइन से जाते हुए 3-4 लोग मुझे तलैवी कहते हुए गए. तो इतना प्यार मुझे करते हैं, तो ऐसा इसकी कोई बात नहीं है. किसी एक व्यक्ति की कुछ कहने से क्या फर्क पड़ता है.
Now, doubling down on his charge, he said that a few months ago when she went to an airport, a lady police officer slapped her, alleging that Kangana abused her, and I have told agricultural workers to do the same if she comes to our area.
அதுக்கு ஒரே வழி என்னன்னா, கங்கனா ராவத் இது மாதிரி ரொம்ப கொழுப்பாக பேசி பல நேரங்களில் பேசியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு முறை அவங்க டெல்லி விமான நிலையமோ லக்னோ விமான நிலையத்திற்கோ போயிருந்தப்ப ஒரு பெண் போலீஸ் காவலர் அவங்கள ஓங்கி அறைவாங்க.
Yesterday, 10 or 15 agriculturists came to me and reported that Kangana Ranaut, once she told to the press regarding the agricultural women, they are working in the lands. One of the media invited them to garland them, to praise them and give some certificate that they are the revolutionary ladies. Even though they are working in the fields, they are very prompt, they are very brave, and they are capable to achieve everything. So in that way they praised those ladies. One reporter asked Kangana Ranaut about this. She immediately replied, they have come here only for 100 rupees. If we give 100 rupees, they can come anywhere. In that way they are coming here. They have coming here. In that way she replied. The agriculturist reported me. I told them, first of all I shocked. Why this lady, even though she is a sitting MP, why she is criticized the agricultural ladies? They are coming from the rural land, rural India. I am fully surprised. Then I told them, what I tell them, you know one thing, few months before this lady said the same kind of words for some other people. At the time she went to the airport. There was one lady police officer was there. After seeing her, she rushed to come to near her and slap his face.
All right then, moving on, shifting our focus here, and News9 has accessed Karnataka CID letters written to the Chief Electoral Officer after Rahul Gandhi dropped that latest voter deletion bomb that he calls it. Our details and our exclusive access to those Karnataka CID letters coming next. Well, you've got big revelations in Karnataka's electoral probe. Now, letters written by the CID of the state to the state's chief electoral officer have now come to light. And the case, which was earlier under a different officer, has since been transferred to the Cybercrime Division for a deeper and thorough investigation. According to the letters by the CID to the state electoral officer, the earlier investigating officer had already sought crucial technical data, including IP addresses and logs, dates, times and destinations of these various IP addresses. Whilst some of this was shared, investigators flagged that key details like destination IP and port numbers were missing. The CID has also raised specific questions about the security of electoral platforms. Among them are, has multi-factor authentication or OTP been implemented or not? Does OTP-based authentication extend to uploading applications? If so, is the OTP sent to the login number, the applicant's number, or both? Now, investigators have further demanded a Section 65B certificate under the Indian Evidence Act to authenticate electronic evidence related to electoral roll revision. And in a rare step, they have even asked for a detailed presentation on how these platforms function step by step and how allegations of misuse could have occurred. In total, the CID has fired off 18 letters to the Election Commission pressing for answers. The spotlight now is on whether lapses in electoral security have in fact taken place, and if so, what it means for the integrity of our voter data. Now, backing Rahul Gandhi's claims, Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar, he said that the Election Commission has failed to respond to queries and withheld crucial information that was sought. Referring to reports that CID has written letters on the matter, D.K. Shivkumar said those letters are public and should be acknowledged. He demanded that the Election Commission release the necessary data without delay.
See, as a president of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee, more than 6,000 votes they wanted to delete with some bogus numbers. After the case was been registered with the COD of the Karnataka took up that responsibility. We wrote to the Election Commission to assist us, give us the numbers, so that we will track those people who are trying to do all this type of mischiefs. They wanted to defeat our MLA. There, always the MLA number will be very thin. They wanted to delete about 6,000 and odd votes. So we requested them, we have written the number of requests to give us the data. Without the Election Commission give the data in which number they have filed the objection. Because someone if asked to remove, if I asked to, myself asked to remove your vote, being our MLO, BLO, BLA or whatever may be, a OTP will come to you. Again there is a big process. Again information will be there. Who received the OTP, who gave a complaint. All this has to be examined. So the Election Commission is not cooperating with the investigation team. Whatever Rahul Gandhi said, it is not 100%, it is 200% is right. This is going on in the entire country. We want Election Commission to work very independently. They are looking in a political angle. Even in Karnataka also, they are asking us the information. We have asked a lot of information. We are ready to cooperate with them. Whatever is there from the government side. But they should also give us more information on that issue.
Moving on, Pakistan is facing major embarrassment after a new video of Jaish-e-Mohammed commander Masood Ilyas Kashmiri surfaced, exposing the Pakistan Army's direct involvement in honoring terrorists killed during India's Operation Sindoor. In the video, Kashmiri claims that Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir had ordered corps and the corps commanders to attend the funerals of slain terrorists in uniform, giving them full military honors. And this is a major blow to Pakistan's long-standing denial of involvement with terror outfits operating from its soil. In another clip, Kashmiri also confirms Masood Azhar's role in terror attacks in Delhi and Mumbai, calling Balakot the soil that gave strength to Azhar's mission after he was freed from Tihar jail. The revelations have sparked outrage and once again exposed the deep links between Pakistan's military and global terrorism, which happens to be Pakistan's biggest export.
इधर जीएचके उसे आर्मी चीफ ऑर्डर जारी करता है कि इन शुहादा के ताबूतों को सलामी दी जाए। कोर कमांडर इनके जनाजे में शरीक होगा, फजाइया इनके जनाजों पर पहरा देगी। आर्मी के जवान अपनी वर्दी के अंदर इनको सलामी पेश करेंगे। 25 साल सब्र, हिम्मत, इस्तिकामत के बाद आज हम रियासत को, बर्री और बहरी फसाई अफवाज को जिहादी नजरिए के ऊपर लेकर आए हैं। शुहदा जैशे मोहम्मद के हैं, इंतकाम लेने वाली पाकिस्तान की फजाइया है। बताओ ये सच्चाई है या नहीं है? ये कलयातम, ये टेररिज्म, ये दहशतगर्दी की बकवास सीने के साथ लगाए इस मुल्क की नजरियाती जुग्राफियाई सरहदों के लिए कभी हम दिल्ली से टकराए, कभी हम काबुल में टकराए, कभी हम कंधार से टकराए। सब कुछ कुर्बान करने के बाद 7 मई को भावलपुर के अंदर मौलाना मसूद अजहर की फैमिली के लोग, बहने और बेटे और बच्चे रेजा रेजा हो गए।
The bottom line essentially here being that in that fiery speech, he does go on to say that all the corps commanders came for that funeral ceremony of the Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists that were killed in Operation Sindoor. What more proof does the entire world need here? And at that very end, in a major strategic and diplomatic development, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have signed a defense pact. But one key clause is raising eyebrows across the world, particularly in South Asia. Take a look at this. During Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's state visit to Riyadh, both nations signed a strategic mutual defense agreement, stating that any aggression against either country shall be considered an act of aggression against both. Now, what does that really mean? Does this imply that if Pakistan engages in hostility and faces retaliation, say from India, Saudi Arabia could interpret that as aggression against itself? Could Saudi Arabia, a key regional power, and of course an important ally of the United States and India as well, now be pulled into South Asia's security dynamics? And this open-ended clause as part of that new strategic partnership has the diplomatic world buzzing with questions. India has responded with caution in the meantime. The Ministry of External Affairs has said that the government was already aware that such an agreement had been under consideration. It will now study the potential implications and the contours of that agreement for India's national security and for broader regional and global stability. New Delhi has reaffirmed its commitment to defending national interests across all domains, whilst both Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have framed the pact as a symbol of brotherhood and Islamic solidarity. Analysts warn it could alter the regional power balance or risk unintended escalation. The deal marks a deepening alliance, but also opens the door to wide-ranging interpretations with global consequences. India reacting to the Pak-Saudi defense deal, and the entire world now buzzing with questions. Saudi Arabia and this deal with Pakistan, could it impact the global security and sovereignty contours of South Asia? As you can see, this seems to be a NATO-style pact. Even if Pakistan provokes first, retaliation could trigger this particular pact. And the Ministry of External Affairs says that they were aware of such contours of an agreement that was going to be signed between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. But what really happens to our own national security is another aspect to take a look at. It is going to be studied, is what the Ministry of External Affairs tells us. Now, India also took a strong stand against terrorism at the United Nations Security Council, the UNSC, as the country's permanent representative, Harish, reaffirmed New Delhi's commitment to a peaceful and stable Afghanistan. Addressing the UNSC, Harish called for coordinated global action to ensure that Afghan soil is not used by terror groups for their activities. He stressed that entities and individuals already designated by the United Nations, such as ISIL, Al-Qaeda, Lashkar-e-Taiba, and Jaish-e-Mohammed, must not be allowed to exploit Afghanistan as a safe haven. In a veiled reference to Pakistan, the Indian envoy also called on the international community to act against those who support or shelter such terrorist groups. The recent condemnation issued by the Afghan authorities over the Pahalgam terror attack that took place in Jammu and Kashmir on the 22nd of April, calling it a significant gesture. Road accident in Ghaziabad has been caught on CCTV. The chilling visuals show a woman walking along the road when a speeding Thar SUV runs over the woman near Lohia Nagar in the city's Sihani Gate area. Now, the victim has been identified as Parul Gupta. She suffered serious spinal injuries in this collision. The CCTV footage of the incident has now surfaced, sparking outrage over reckless driving in the city. This is visuals from Ghaziabad, Lohia Nagar, near the Sihani Gate area, where a woman just walking on the road, of course, could have chosen to walk on the sidelines, on the sidewalks, but the speeding Thar recklessly driving over the woman, serious spinal injuries due to the collision that the woman is now being treated for. Visuals on your screens, there is clear outrage on social media ever since the video has come out. Horror in Ghaziabad caught on CCTV. This is a speeding SUV Just a couple of days back in Ghaziabad, a lady who had just bought and purchased a Thar SUV drove it off out of the showroom, banging it into the wall, damaging her newly bought vehicle. And this happens to be a woman on the other side of the wheel. The Thar driver mowing down this lady who's simply walking on the roads. When there's ample amount of space to the right of the lady, he could have clearly steered clear. But it seems like a bang-on hit. Was it deliberate? Was the driver intoxicated in an inebriated state? Well, we'll have to wait and find out for official and police details to come out. But at this point in time, what we know is that there is outrage on social media due to the collision. And because of this, the woman who's been attacked and hurt is receiving treatment for grievous spinal injuries at a nearby medical facility. The video shows the woman crossing the road when a speeding Thar hits her. The impact is so severe, we of course have to edit out those visuals. Seems to be at least 60 to 70 kmph as per the speed, just by a mere look at the CCTV visual. The impact seems to be severe enough. The woman was thrown in the front of the vehicle's hood. The CCTV frame limits us to understand whether the Thar driver actually ran over the woman or did she get flung to one or either side. But the details is that there are grievous spinal injuries and massive outrage online. Now, in another shocking incident being reported from the national capital, a Delhi police PCR van that was patrolling the area fatally struck a tea stall vendor on Mandir Marg this morning. Locals allege that the police personnel behind the steering wheel was drunk. The victim was identified as Kangana Ranaut, a physically challenged man in his 50s who had been running a tea stall under the tree near the Ram Krishna Ashram metro station. And witnesses said that he was asleep at his tea stall when the police control room van mounted a roadside ramp and crushed him. The victim sustained critical injuries and died right there on the spot. Prima facie, the police suspect the driver of the PCR van dozed off while driving the vehicle when the accident took place.
सुबह तकरीबन 5 बजे का वक्त था। उस वक्त ये सामने आप जो देख रहे हैं ये चाय की टपरी थी। यहाँ पर एक शख्स गंगाराम तिवारी बैठे हुए थे और उसी वक्त बताया जा रहा है कि सामने की तरफ से एक पीसीआर वैन आई जिसे क्विक रिस्पांस टीम भी कहते हैं और सामने इतनी तेज़ गति से आई कि यहाँ पर कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाई। और देखिए चाय की टपरी जो है यहाँ शख्स बैठे हुए थे और वो पेड़ और जो पीसीआर है उसके बीच में यहाँ दबकर उनकी जो है मौके पर ही मौत हो गई। उनके बेटे मेरे साथ मौजूद है। क्या नाम है आपका?
शिव कुमार तिवारी।
आपके फादर थे?
हाँ जी।
क्या नाम है उनका?
गंगाराम तिवारी।
गंगाराम तिवारी। क्या करते थे?
सर चाय बनाते थे।
अच्छा,
चाय की दुकान।
तो ये कितने बजे की घटना है?
सर सुबह 5 बजे की है।
5 बजे की घटना है।
जी।
तो क्या हुआ था थोड़ा बताइए।
सर वहाँ से जिप्सी आ रही थी 100 नंबर की। सर उसमें 2 पुलिस वाले थे, एक लेडीज़ थी।
अच्छा।
और सर सारे लोग नशे में धुत थे।
आपको कैसे पता नशे में थे?
सर गाड़ी में दारू की बोतल निकली है सर।
देखिए आपने?
बिल्कुल सर।
अच्छा, नशे में थे फिर?
बिल्कुल। वहाँ से सर गाड़ी एक बाइक स्पीड में लेके आई, यहाँ चढ़ा दिया गाड़ी उनके ऊपर। उनकी हो गई डेथ। उसके बाद यहाँ से वो दोनों निकल के वहाँ गए, छिप गए।
जो आप बता रहे 50 मिनट दूर स्थायी
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, वहीं पे छिप गए। उनसे बात करने के मतलब उनसे हम लोग फ़ोटो या कुछ भी मांगने के लिए गए तो वहाँ पुलिस वालों ने मुझे जाने नहीं दिया। प्रशासन ने रोक रखा। बस खाली मैं उनसे एक ही चीज़ बोला कि सर उनकी एक फ़ोटो चाहिए बस।
आपके पिताजी की?
नहीं, जो 2 गाड़ी चलाए थे सर।
जो गाड़ी चला रहे?
हाँ जी।
ठीक है। फिर उनको यहाँ से अस्पताल ले जाया गया?
सर हॉस्पिटल वहाँ डेड बॉडी और क्या नाम पोस्टमार्टम चले गए।
ऑन द स्पॉट ही डेथ हो गई थी क्या?
हाँ जी।
अच्छा, अब आप क्या चाहते हैं इसमें, किस तरह से आगे कार्रवाई बढ़े?
सर यही है कि सरकार से जो मुआवजा चाहिए सर, क्योंकि कमाने वाले वही थे।
आप काम नहीं करते?
सर मैं भी लेबर ही करता हूँ सर। 4 बहन की शादी करनी है, 2 भाई की करनी है।
आप लोग कब से दिल्ली में रह रहे थे?
सर 10 साल हो गए तो चाय बनाते हुए।
और ये ठिकाना कब से बना हुआ है पीछे जो?
सर ये भी करीब 10 या 12-13 साल हो गए। वो भी कोई सरकारी वो भी नहीं है। खाली बात लौंडिया लेके आते हैं सर मजे मौज मस्ती करने के लिए, वही अड्डा बना रखते हैं।
ये आपने सुना है, देखा है?
सर रोज लेके आते हैं सर, जब मर्जी तब दिखा दूँ।
कभी शिकायत की इस बारे में?
सर कोई नहीं सुनता सर, पुलिस वाले से भाई उसी बात पे भी बात बोलो तो कनपड़ी पे निकाल के गन रख देते हैं।
गन रख दी? किसके?
बिल्कुल सर, यहाँ पे गए।
अच्छा ठीक है, हाँ मैंने उनसे बात की।
Moving on, major update in the Disha Patni house firing case. The recent investigation into Disha Patni house firing case has revealed that 5 shooters from the Goldie Brar gang were sent to Disha Patni's house. Ravinder and Arun were on a white Apache bike, whilst 2 others, Nakul and Vijay, who are still absconding, were on a black Splendor bike. The shooters arrived in Bareilly on September 11th, stayed at the Punjab Hotel and carried out a recce of the area. On the 12th of September, Ravinder carried out the firing outside the house in a joint encounter operation carried out by the Delhi Police Special Cell, the UP STF and the Haryana STF. The 2 shooters, identified as Ravinder from Rohtak and Arun from Sonipat, were shot dead near Tronika city yesterday. Police confirmed both were active members of the Rohit Godara Goldie Brar gang and had a direct role in the Bareilly firing case earlier this month. A special cell officer was also injured in the exchange of fire. Police recovered 2 pistols and a large cache of cartridges from the spot. Officials say the search continues for 2 other gang members still on the run. Over 2,000 CCTV footages were scanned to track the shooters. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, reiterating his zero-tolerance policy on crime, had earlier directed swift action in the case. Meanwhile, actor Disha Patni's father and retired CEO Jagdish Patni has thanked Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath for taking strict action.
मैं माननीय मुख्यमंत्री उत्तर प्रदेश श्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी का अपने तथा अपने परिवार की ओर से धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करता हूं। जैसा उन्होंने मुझे विश्वास दिलाया था और उसी के अनुरूप इतने कम समय में अपराधियों को ढूंढकर इतनी कठोर कार्रवाई की। मैंने आज पुनः माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी से फोन पर वार्ता कर उनका धन्यवाद ज्ञापित किया कि उनके नेतृत्व में उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार एवं उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस भयमुक्त समाज की परिकल्पना को पूर्ण रूप से साकार कर रही है।
Well, my colleague also brings us a ground report from the encounter site. This is ground zero in Ghaziabad. Take a look.
बॉलीवुड अभिनेत्री दिशा पाटनी के बरेली के घर पर फायरिंग के 2 आरोपी रविंदर और अरुण को यूपी एसटीएफ ने आज एक एनकाउंटर में गाजियाबाद के लोनी इलाके में मार गिराया है। इन दोनों के ऊपर 1-1 लाख रुपए का इनाम था। 11 और 12 सितंबर की दरमियानी रात को इन्होंने दिशा पाटनी के बरेली के घर पर फायरिंग की थी। 13 तारीख को भी फायरिंग की थी और लगातार पुलिस जो है उनकी तलाश कर रही थी। आपके सामने एनकाउंटर के बाद की तस्वीरें हैं। यही ट्रोनिका सिटी लोनी का इलाका है जहां पर यूपी एसटीएफ और सोनीपत पुलिस ने एक ज्वाइंट ऑपरेशन में दोनों बदमाशों को मार गिराया है। इन आप देख सकते हैं तमाम जो ये सफेद गोले नजर आ रहे हैं। यहाँ पर कई राउंड फायरिंग हुई थी, यहाँ पर गोलियां मिली थी। रविंदर जो है वो रोहतक का रहने वाला है जबकि अरुण जो है वो सोनीपत का रहने वाला है और ये दोनों गैंगस्टर रोहित गोदारा और गोल्डी बराड़ के सक्रिय सदस्य आपके सामने ये अधिकारी हैं। जो बाइक आपको नजर आ रही है ये अपाचे बाइक है जिस पर सवार होकर के दोनों ने दिशा पाटनी के घर पर फायरिंग की थी। फिलहाल पुलिस ने इनके कब्जे से कई हथियार बरामद किए हैं, कई जिंदा कारतूस भी बरामद किए हैं और एसटीएफ की टीम लगातार इस वक्त मौके पर मौजूद है। आप देखेंगे कि जो एसटीएफ की टीम है उसने लगातार पीछा कर रही थी और उसके बाद जब ट्रोनिका सिटी में यहाँ पर ये दोनों अपराधी पहुंचे हैं उसके बाद इन्होंने पुलिस के ऊपर फायरिंग शुरू कर दी है। फायरिंग के बाद जवाबी कार्रवाई हुई है जिसमें दोनों बदमाशों को गोली लगी। लगभग शाम 7:30 बजे के आसपास का ये एनकाउंटर है। दोनों को गोली लगने के बाद घायल हालत में अस्पताल ले जाया गया जहां पर पुलिस ने दोनों को मृत घोषित कर दिया है। फिलहाल जो रविंदर है उसके ऊपर भी कई एफआईआर दर्ज हैं और उसके ऊपर कई आपराधिक मामले दर्ज थे जबकि अरुण के ऊपर भी पहले के 5 से 6 आपराधिक मामले थे। इन दोनों ने ही दिशा पाटनी के बरेली के घर पर फायरिंग की थी और जो निशान थे गोलियों के वो दीवार में थे। इसके अलावा इनका सीसीटीवी फुटेज भी सामने आया था।
Moving on, Kerala's wild elephants, once majestic symbols of God's own country, are unfortunately dying, and that too at an alarming rate. Forest Department data reveals that 827 elephants have died in the state over the last 6.5 years. Of these, at least 84 were killed due to direct human actions. And these gentle giants of the forest are falling victims to electric fences, poisoned fruit, explosives hidden in pineapples, and collisions with vehicles, bringing the spotlight back on the man-human conflict conversation. Some even fall victim to human greed as they are hunted for their ivory. Many of these deaths go unpunished and largely uninvestigated, emboldening the poachers behind these crimes. In August this year, 9 elephant carcasses were found along the Puyamkutti River in Ernakulam. 5 washed ashore within days. A special investigation team was formed, though forest officials initially blamed the flash floods. In February, the iconic tusker Kasera Komban was found dead in Malappuram. A metal object was discovered embedded in its neck during the autopsy. A ballistic report is awaited. Forest officials admit young elephants rarely survive when they enter human settlements. Locals retaliate, often fatally, and most calves never reach maturity. Questions have been raised on the transparency of the autopsies. Animal activists allege that many deaths are labeled as natural even when foul play is suspected. In the Kurulai range alone, 40 elephants have died in under 5 years. Over the years, experts have also called for independent oversight and undercover operations to trace the poachers and prevent illegal killings, as the forest intelligence is ineffective. If action is not taken now, then God's own country will be devoid of these magnificent creatures of the forest.